Short update on Neo. A couple of people remember we did exceedingly well on this coin a while ago. And so this is on a 60-minuter, and I'll come back for a view on others. You can see the squeeze bumping against that level from literally that break, where you had a little bit of outlier volume, you had an exhaustive sell period, a little bit of outlier volume pushing through that little lid there, and the ascending triangle. That was in and around the 22nd. Nice little move, but this is where you really would have been started to be giving the game away. Really low volatility squeeze. All just hanging just sub the 550. You get your break, your return move, and then the volume, you can see it building, and you can see the move carrying on. Then you get a little bit of a pullback, but it's not chronic given the amount of the move you've made literally from this. So this was a key level of significance in and around just sub 550s, and then you've had a great run up. So you expect a little bit of a breath. What do? You get a second impulse, you get a nice subtle third impulse. These spinning tops are highlighting low volatility. You get your feign and break pop back to spinning tops. This is called funneling with a bit of a grind line under it, but popping up. Nice impulsive move, target made, and you're getting follow through even with overperformance. This is now a little bit of thinking. Indecision. We've had nothing but up for a while. It would be quite rational for us to have a little downward dip here, but this has been strong. Broadly speaking, on a bigger time frame, and thanks to Zenya's good work on the bigger time frames, we actually have a bigger setup that could in fact be in play with regards to this chart. So you could argue that the original setup right back here is still in work, in play, and as a result there is quite a juicy target that came out of this first setup in the new trend. So depending on where you take the break, I would actually be forced to say that's right up top there was quite high slung. That's where your volume came. You get a nice amplitude that would have also come out of this first setup in a new trend. I'd probably feel obliged to use that amplitude as opposed to that once off tick dip, which was a bit exceptional. But you could argue that if you did use that, you may even get an even bigger reward. Note how this particular point where you made that target is exactly where you rested and you had a pullback. So if I draw the line, what happens? That doesn't mean it's a short after that. There's a big credibility difference between just taking a profit and meaning that that's now a bear sell. It is most definitely not. Something that is performing to the upside, we apply the rule of keep on keeping on. So in other words, all that means is on the lower time frame, if I take you back down again, it was indicating this would be a point where you'll have your first rest. What did it happen? You had your first pullback, you had your first turnaround, and you wind up to carry on. It just means it's a good time to take some profit and you may get a dip against you. In a really strong market like Neo has been, all that happens is you get a wind up and you get a little bit of a further pump. That's quite interesting. What could be even more interesting is potentially the fact that from it was listed, this chart is on a bit for next. So maybe I need to be looking at some of the others that had it as AND shares. It's a bit of a problem because it was AND shares and it changed. But you actually could have a very large impulse here that is giving you an even bigger, longer run. You could argue that's an H1. This is because of the listing on other exchanges. Bear in mind this price behavior existed with a bit of a pull, so you could have an even bigger impulse. So what you want to do is go do your draws on Neo, on the other exchanges apart from Bitfinex. Maybe have a look at a Bittrex and see what you got. That gives targets right up well through to 825s and beyond, I believe. So worth going to. I'm not doing it all for you, but this is what's happening on our base camp. So now that it's moved, we can tell you about it. But we were all talking about Neo over here in the base camp group, and here most enjoyed this ride that had taken the trade, and we also captured that little continuation pattern and the key aspect that it was at a target level and just wound up and went more. So keep on keeping on is the law that you'll be taught. Trade continuation, not reversal. This is Francis Hunt, the Market Sniper, wanting to make you a better trader. It's even more awesome if you choose to invest time and money in terms of becoming a better trader. The quality of your decisions improve. You become a specialist and part of a community. To do that, contact us, themarketsniper.contact us. If not, carry on, enjoy, and trade safe. It does not constitute a recommendation. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed the clip.